Hello and welcome to another edition of Founders Tales. I'm delighted to be joined today by Luis, who is co-founder and CEO of dimensio.ai. Luis, good to have you on. Do you want to give everybody a quick introduction to yourself and your company?
Of course. Well, first of all, thank you so much, Chris. Super excited to be here. I'm from Spain originally, came to the US when I was 17 years old. I've been a tennis player for my whole life, so I actually came to the US thanks to a tennis scholarship. That's how I landed here. I went to school at Purdue University, it's a school in Indiana, and I've been a big fan of programming for my whole life. I've been really curious about computers always. So I studied computer science as an undergrad, and I didn't have any bio or biotech background at all. But my last year of college, I was given the opportunity to start working for a company based in Boston, right when the AI boom was kind of like coming out, ChatGPT was coming out, and I was given the opportunity to, as the first software engineer, develop a super new tech, in AI at a company that was called Galley. So Galley, it's the company. I've learned everything that I know, from actually the founder, who's Luciano, and it was this super innovative company that grows cotton and cacao in a lab. So that's pretty crazy. And they were recently backed by Bill Gates, Sam Altman, and a bunch of other cool investors. So why not? I took the opportunity, and then while being at Galley, I really liked that intersection of biology, biotech, and then programming, software engineering. So I left Galley to start Dimensio, which is the company that I'm obviously founding right now. And what we do is lab data collection in real time. So we help scientists to collect all the data through computer vision and voice, so that by the time they leave the lab after doing their experiment, all the experiment is already documented properly, and they have the report already in the cloud. So that's pretty much what we do. It's pretty cool.
Saving them a lot of admin, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah. Brilliant. And where did the idea for the business first come from then?
Yeah, exactly. So, while being at Galley, I was given this opportunity to work in, robotics projects, for example. So I actually led a team of MIT students in developing some cool robotic systems that will actually automate a bunch of lab work. And still, as I mentioned at the very beginning, my initial project at Galley was to train an AI model on scientific data, right? So that's pretty much how everything started. But then I realized that there was this huge gap in the way that scientists, while being in the lab, collect their data, right? And I started to see that this was a problem across the industry, not because the biotech sector, is super advanced already, right? But it's obviously super hard to be able to collect everything that happens in the lab, and the only way to do that right now is obviously with AI, right? Luckily, in the past year to a year and a half, AI models have evolved a lot, that now we're able to do it live, in real time. And that's pretty much, how it started, right? Right at seeing that gap, at that intersection of biotech and computer science, pretty much.
Yeah. And appreciate the business is pretty new, but I would imagine you've gone through quite a learning curve already. So what was maybe one thing that now that you wish you knew, when you started the business on day one?
Yeah, well, I think that the most important thing is obviously to have a great product, right? If you don't have a product that is solving a pain point that people are willing to pay, then you're lost, right? Let's say. So how do you have a winning product, right? That's obviously the most important thing that you should focus on, right? Obviously, customer feedback. So I will say that when you're developing a product, you don't need to have, a perfect system and kind of keep developing with your team, until you put it out there. Literally try to put it out there, the first, crappiest version that you have, just test it with a customer and then see if they like it and then iterate from there, right? It's better to have a bad feedback at the beginning and then iterate from it, rather than trying to do a perfect system that nobody uses later.
Yeah. So you guys got your product out pretty quickly, did you?
Yeah, I did. So actually, before this venture, this is kind of like a fun fact. while working at Galley, I developed a ride-sharing app. So it was called Moogles.
Okay.
And that's pretty much the issue that I had with Moogles that I've been trying to solve now. So with Moogles, for a couple of years, I was developing this tool on the side that would kind of like connect drivers and passengers heading on the same way. And the truth is that there was no product market fit. So after 2 years, when I was like, okay, now the app is ready, let me put it out there, nobody will use it. And it's pretty much because I never actually asked for feedback. So if I learned, something from that project that I used, for Dimensio, is that really understand the pain point, really talk to your customers, try to sell them the product before you even have it, right? And then you are really going to adapt to their needs, and then you can, take it from there.
Yeah, and in terms of kind of taking on board that feedback, iterating, etc., how does the product look today versus that first crappy product that you pushed out?
Yeah, no, definitely it looks super different. So, for example, at first we didn't even have computer vision integrated in the product. Then obviously in the lab space, it's super important. There are many, subjective things that a scientist kind of like analyzes, as they are doing their experiment. I don't know, is there contamination in a plate, for example? Well, how are you going to record that, right? At the end of the day, you need to have a computer vision model that can really capture that, right? So I think that literally implemented computer vision has been, one of the biggest upgrades kind of that we didn't have at the beginning, but also definitely the way that right now our model behaves. So we have a super cool model that is just trained on the scientist's voice. So I remember the first test that we're doing, we will bring Dimensio into the lab, and it's obviously, a tool that can talk to you back and forth, but the lab is a noisy place, right? So if there is, I don't know, like a noisy flow hood, a noisy machine, then it will actually interrupt Dimensio, right? However, we developed this system that gets trained just on the scientist's voice, and he will just listen to the scientist. No matter if there's a hurricane, if there's a tsunami in the lab, he will still just, will just still understand only the scientist. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah, that is pretty cool. I like it. Cool. And then you guys are building in Boston. So so far, have there been any particular local resources, meetups, labs, mentors, whatever it might be, that have really helped you guys kind of get the business to where it is already?
Yeah, no, for sure. Definitely Boston is, the best biotech hub in the world, right? And when it comes to tech and biotech, fully combined, I think that Boston is the place to be. There's for sure, a lot of things that we've been able to do thanks to the Boston ecosystem. Obviously there's always events, happening in the afternoons. They're literally like public to the people. You can literally go on Luma right now, which is this app for, to find events. You'll be able to just sign up, go in there and just talk to customers, right? Because there's a bunch of like biotech people. Not even customers, just like scientists, and literally get their feedback about what they think about the product. So that's definitely one thing on how to get, customer feedback while you're building. But definitely I've been able to have, great advisors, into the project as well. One of them is actually Luciano. He's the founder CEO of the Galley, of Galley, which is the company that I used to work at. Now he's also an advisor of Dimensio. And Professor Shuo Tang, he's also a machine learning professor at Tufts University. So he's guiding us a lot, in the development of the models. So, definitely for sure, Boston has been a huge boost for the project.
Yeah, brilliant. And in terms of advisors or speaking to other founders, etc., apart from what you mentioned already in terms of, get your product out there as quickly as possible, get that feedback, what's the best piece of advice you've kind of received from somebody else?
Raise money as late as you can. So, that one is maybe not as related, to the product itself, but I think that, well, it actually is, because I think that now, especially with the AI era, or like the, AI space especially, there's kind of like this AI boom in where you've probably seen it, right? Like a bunch of AI companies just raising money for the sake of raising money and maybe not having a product in that sense, or maybe not a strong product. Well, really make sure that, you have early traction, you have customers, you're really solving the pain point, and then, start talking to VCs, right? So that's pretty much what we've been trying to do. Right now, we are currently closing our pre-seed round, which is pretty cool. But obviously, everything, kind of came after we made sure that we had a strong product. Product.
Brilliant. And then finally, in terms of dealing with the inevitable highs and lows of building out your own startup. Well, what do you do personally to help yourself, stay motivated, sane, etc.? Are you still playing tennis, or do you do other things?
Yeah, well, I try to play tennis as much as I can. To be honest, especially now in the winter is tough. In Boston, there's not many indoor courts. So I try to go to the gym. It's true that I'm pretty much in the office all day. I'm not gonna lie. Like I spend, I arrive to the office at 8 a.m. Go home sometimes like at 10, 11, no matter what. But I mean, I think that as a founder, you kind of like peak, like you get yourself into it because you like it, right? And I will say that there's obviously not many people, that want to do it. That's obviously the risk that you take, that you don't know what's gonna happen tomorrow. You're on your own, but definitely, being able to suffer, it's cool, I will say.
Yeah, brilliant. Well, listen, look, great talking to you today, Luis. I appreciate your time, and best of luck in terms of, first of all, closing out that pre-seed round, but medium to longer term, best of luck to yourself, best of luck to Dimensio. I hope you guys continue to go from strength to strength.
That's good. Thank you so much. It's been great, Chris.
Pleasure. Yeah, likewise. Yeah.